Mr. Sermon, I guess I don't know if it was you did this or somebody else, but you shifted from executing industrial-based funding through shipyards to a new not-for-profit Blue Forge Alliance. Can you talk about how much money we've given to Blue Forge Alliance and if we've gotten a return?
Yes, sir, I can. So over the course of, since 2023, we have done approximately 200 supply chain projects, as well as numerous workforce efforts, as well as coordination of our advanced manufacturing college, bringing together colleges and our technical community efforts via a nonprofit company called Blue Forge Alliance. That company has about right around $2 billion that has flowed through it to the industrial base. On the efforts I talked about, primarily on supply chain projects. Right, the company is a nonprofit. The company has a overhead rate and an execution rate that is actually less expensive for executing these projects than we had as we were executing them with the shipbuilders. But just as importantly, the projects that they are executing, it has, and I believe that the shipbuilders would share this perspective, takes pressure off of the shipbuilders supply chain team, who is buying this 5X, really 6X by components increase across the industrial base. We bring the Blue Forge Alliance team into Battery to go and execute the actual investment projects that raise capability and capacity. And by no means stuck on like, hey, we got to use Blue Forge Alliance for this either. My plan going forward is to maximize bringing in partners from across the defense industrial base, from other parts of the United States, from other industrial base places of excellence where we've seen these kind of uplifts and learning and having more partnerships to ultimately get us to 1+2, to get us to 1+2 and a third. Thank you.
Thank you. Every week when you talk about the different ballistic missile submarines, when they're going to be ready, is that actually ready to go to combat? Or is that just delivered and there's still going to be a lot of work to do afterwards?
Yes, so the dates I was quoting earlier were delivery dates out of the shipbuilder. There is another, approximately 18 months of time it takes from when the ship is delivered till it's ready for first patrol. Lead ship is a little bit longer, but we are partnering with the fleet to shrink that to as small a period of time as we possibly can.
Is that still way later than what they thought?
Yes, sir. It's still, we're still looking at, it basically carries forward into that on patrol date, although we're looking to shrink some of that, as well as as I mentioned earlier, the work we're doing with the shipbuilders to try to accelerate delivery schedules to get the ship delivered as soon as possible. So that's the fastest right now. That's the thing we can do. We're also, again, working with the fleet to optimize that post-delivery to first patrol time frame to make sure we're cutting out all the extra stuff in there and make sure it's really just the things we have to do.
Okay. Remote, so how many shipyards can we build at nuclear aircraft carrier, and how many do we have?
Sir, given the size of the aircraft carrier and the specialized facilities, we only have one shipyard in the United States that's capable of building them, and that's Newport News Shipbuilding under HII.
Okay. And could they be built overseas? Are there shipyards overseas?
Not that immediately could build a carrier. I'd have to check and see if there were one that were big enough potentially. But obviously, with the nuclear power aspects of the carrier, the complex machinery, which is part of what makes forward capability so special, I would say it would probably be unlikely, in my opinion, that we could do that overseas. But I'm always willing to look at any alternative to improve performance.
And so if they don't perform, then what do? We don't have any options?
Sir, Newport News Shipbuilding is our partner in building aircraft carriers, but we also hold them accountable under the contract. All of the provisions that are in there are designed to incentivize their performance. If they don't do that properly, they don't get those incentives. We do that, and we hold them accountable in many other ways day to day on their performance, right? But at the end of the day, we do have to partner with them I do believe that we can do both, and both RPEO, Navy organizations such as the supervisor shipbuilding exercise accountability of the builder at all possible levels at the same time as we work with them to produce the ships.
Wouldn't it be beneficial to have competition?
So it's always beneficial to have competition. Prior in my career as a captain, I was the destroyer program manager for the Arleigh Burke class. I very much enjoyed having two shipbuilders that were in competition with each other as we built that class. It has to be a class-by-class basis, and obviously the carrier brings special constraints.
Okay. So, Admiral Rucker, we're continuing to be way behind on the Virginia-class program. I mean, is it really anything that's happening now? Because didn't they tell us before we were going to be on time, and it still hasn't happened? What's realistic? And the same question I asked Admiral Weeks. When you say you're going to deliver something, it doesn't mean it's ready to go to war, right? And there's significant delays after that.
Yes, sir. Thanks for the question. I'll kind of work my way from the second question here first. When we deliver Virginia class today, they are the highest quality platforms in the Navy, independently assessed by what's called our in-serve team. They have the highest quality score of any ship in the Navy. From the time we've delivered them, we've worked with the fleet based on the fleet's needs to actually deploy multiple submarines. So both New Jersey and Rickover both deployed before their post-shakedown availability, and Iowa's on track to do that this year as well. So my answer is, on that, we do support the fleet and let them use them and adjust our schedules when world events require that. Where we stand today on production, sir, we need to continue to improve. It's both an issue with the supply base and at the shipbuilders. We've got actions ongoing, both with congressional help to support the uplift of the supplier base. We've already seen some bottlenecks removed. We have more to go. And then at the shipbuilders, we need to get after their production capacity as well.
So we're producing a little over one a year, right? And what are we funding? Are we funding more than that?
We have funded two. The Congress has appropriated two and authorized two in the past. The 25 budget has one that's in there. The advantage of that one, which I've talked on the record before about, is right now the production system is what I would say is out of balance across manufacturing, kind of the steel production, outfitting, and final assembly and tests. We need to get that back rebalanced. We actually slowed down portions of the production system that were at a 2 per year rate to make sure the whole system could then be uplifted together. And so that one boat in 25 allows us to resynchronize and rebalance the production system. And then going forward, the 2 per year rate that we anticipate doing allows us to do a more efficient ramp up to get to the 2 per year that we need to achieve.
So does it make sense to keep funding at a rate way in excess of what we're producing?
Great question, sir. I understand that perspective. Part of the continuing to look going forward as we go into the 26 budget, obviously that's still being looked at. But the advantage of the 2 per year is if you look across the production system, we need all phases of it to get to that 2 per year. And so if we go back down to 1 per year, looking out in the future, the ability to ramp back up to 2 would cause us to have that same challenges of ramp, which we're going through now. We have a clear plan working with Matt Sermon's team in the industrial base, and then with our shipbuilders on a path to get there. So going back down, we would still have to get back up again to support what we need for our force structure of 66 submarines and then also our AUKUS partners.
It just didn't seem to make much sense when we're funding 2, we're not getting 2. But if we don't keep funding 2, we'll never get to 2. It seems completely out of whack of what we're spending.
Understand, sir, which is why in 25 we put one forward to kind of allow the system to catch back up and ensure we get rebalanced.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I have a couple. Thanks, Mr.